Welcome to the Martial Arts of Business podcast series. All of our podcasts can be downloaded direct from the website at martialartsofbusiness.com or by searching the terms martial arts business in iTunes. Now, here's your host, Sean Allen.
This is Season 1, Episode 3. Today we're going to go through a little bit about curriculum and teaching. Which is more important? We're also going to be answering a question from someone in New Zealand, and we're going to be talking about the importance of generating referrals within your club. But let's get back to the first thing I said, which was curriculum and teaching. Well, which is more important? Let's get some clarity first of all. Your curriculum or your syllabus is what you teach. When we're talking about teaching, we're talking about how you present that. Well, actually, the hard truth is how you teach is more important in terms of running a school than what you teach. I know you don't want to hear that. So, in a business sense, you should really be working on your public speaking and your presentation skills. But in a martial arts sense, we need to address the self-defense needs of our students. Now, how hard should we look at what we teach? Well, let me digress for a little while and talk about something slightly off-centre. Two questions concerning curriculum. Should we question what we do? And if we do question it, are we being disrespectful? Well, let's look at an example from something that's a little bit more scrutinised than martial arts, and it's the Olympic Games. Many years ago, the short distance running races were started from a standing position. Nowadays, they start from a crouched position with hands on the ground. If we had kept with tradition and not changed, our takeoff speed would never have improved. You see where I'm heading? Now, high jump is another good example. Prior to the 1960s, athletes used to jump in the high jump facing down. Then a guy named Dick Fosbury jumped backwards and head first facing up. Yes, that's right, the Fosbury flop. Now, if we had have stuck with facing down, the old method, our athletes wouldn't have been jumping as high. For example, a 1964 photograph of Dick Fosbury performing his technique was widely distributed and was reprinted in newspapers around the world. Many of them made fun of the new technique, with one newspaper captioning the photograph, "World's Laziest High Jumper." One historian actually referred to his early attempts at jumping as an airborne seizure. The technique gained him the name the Fosbury flop, after a reporter for a local newspaper wrote that he looked like a fish flopping in a boat. Now, it's because we were prepared to leave what had been done in the past that enabled us to get a better result. Our ability to embrace the new helped us move from one stage to the next. Let's imagine that one nation decided, through respect to their elders, that they were going to stay with the straddle, the old high jump method, and the standing start in the 100 metres, and they were going to compete in the next Olympics. How do you think they'd go? Well, the understanding we come to now, and that we must embrace, is that we must dissect all of our methods with a sceptical eye to be able to ascertain what is folklore and what is of real value to not only just us, but our students too. Now finally, the area of your training that you will most strenuously defend may just be the one that really needs to go. Now, back to curriculum. What should we teach? Well, martial arts was designed many years ago to combat attacks. These still happen today, although group attacks and weapon attacks are more prevalent. So really, our defence from day one should involve defence against a weapon and defence against a group. Now, what about other threats? Well, the other killers. Well, as you probably know, two of the largest killers are heart disease and stress. I've taught thousands of students. No one ever died in a physical confrontation. Actually, no one, from my knowledge, was ever in a life or death struggle. So, well, did any die from heart attack? Well, yeah. A few even committed suicide. So when contemplating what to teach, think about the real threats. Our question this week comes from Nigel from New Zealand. Thanks, Nigel, for sending in this. Actually, it was more of a comment, really. He said that we have turned a corner by cutting costs and adding new programs. It's been an eye-opener by downsizing a bit, how much more effective everything is running, and benefits I didn't see beforehand, let alone the dollars I'm saving. My comment back was, well, having heaps of students is intoxicating. Quality of life is actually where the game really is. I remember going from $20,000 a month to 30 to 40 to 50. You do get a little drunk on success, but it's not the only thing in life. Spending time with your partner and kids, your own training, other goals, spiritual growth, learning new stuff, all those need to be attended to. If we are unbalanced and concentrate on one thing, we end up incredibly successful, like Tiger Woods. Get my drift? Now, I do get a fair few questions about the generation of referrals. Now, here's one point. Referrals have nothing